starting with a pharma company to shifting to wellness to shifting to retail. One thing what I would like to say and I have learned is there is no replacement to hard work. And I needed to create something which was good, something which was professional, something which was pocket friendly. So that is why I started with my own brand.
Now there are many women who wants to open their own business, but they face self-doubt. So what is your go-to advice for them?
I think self-belief is the highest form of a person's consciousness. I mean, if you believe in yourself, how can you doubt your ideas?
Hello and welcome to PBN Bharat. I am Manasi Sawant and today we have an inspiring episode dedicated to women entrepreneurs. They will share their incredible journey of resilience, innovation and empowerment. We are honored to have one such inspiring entrepreneur among us. A gold medalist in clinical biochemistry, she began her entrepreneurial journey at the young age of 19. She is the founder of the renowned Sattva Salon and Spa. She has been a driving force behind the initiatives like Global to Local, empowering rural women and self-help groups to achieve financial independence. Her dedication to women empowerment and rural development has earned her numerous accolades, including the Priya Darshini Award and the Inspiring Women of Goa Award, and many others. Currently, she serves as the chairperson of the Women's Wing at the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mrs. Asha Arondekar. Welcome to our show, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So, ma'am, firstly, I would like to ask you about yourself. So, could you tell us what drove you to pursue a master's in clinical biochemistry?
Oh, well, actually, my father drove me to do that because he was a doctor and he wanted me to be a doctor, but I never really wanted to be a medical doctor. So he said, okay, if not a medical, at least a paramedic. And that's how I went on to do my master's in clinical biochemistry because he wanted me to join his clinic, his hospital, which subsequently I didn't.
So, ma'am, did you ever imagine that you would take such a drastic turn and turn towards this being an entrepreneur?
Not really. Like I said, my whole growing up was like, okay, I have to follow my father's footsteps. But as I was studying in Pune and I came across a guest lecture by Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, that was my turning point in life. And I thought, no, I think I'm more suited to be an entrepreneur and I need to start a journey there.
That's great, ma'am. So could you share us your first entrepreneurial journey?
Okay, I was still studying then in Pune and I had two of my friends on the campus and we were sitting in the canteen and I was discussing with them how we could go about and start a company, and I really sold that idea to them, and that is how at the age of 19, along with these two friends, we started our first journey, our business journey, wherein one of our friends his father loaned us about 50,000 rupees to start the venture because my father refused to talk to me because I had changed my mind.
Okay. Ma'am, so now coming to the lessons that you have learned along this journey, from changing your whole career from being a biochemistry student to becoming an entrepreneur, how was it?
I think it's been a very long journey and it has been in phases, like starting with a pharma company to shifting to wellness to shifting to retail. So the journey has been in phases and it has changed me as a person. But one thing what I would like to say and I have learned is there is no replacement to hard work. There is no replacement to challenges. And there is no stopping in taking risks. So if you want to reach up there, you got to take risks every day.
Definitely. Yes, ma'am. So as you mentioned that you have shifted, you have been kept switching from pharma, wellness, and retail. So it is no small feat. So can you share a pivotal challenge that you faced while shifting through these sectors?
Okay, actually pharma was the first idea that had come to my mind. So we had started the pharmaceutical company, and then, marriage and my roots in Goa brought me back from Pune to Goa. And I told my husband, who was in real estate, that we need to have like something to do with pharma. That's how we started a pharma research company in Verna. But over a period of time, because I had already lived in Pune, I realized that there was no, mid-segment wellness centers in Goa. Either they were in the five-star hotels or they were in those, the by-lanes of the villages and towns. So there was nothing in the mid-segment, and today the mid-segment is the most, they're the most spending, that is the maximum capacity of people are there in the mid-segment. So I said, why not start a wellness chain, which I started by bringing the franchisee of VLCC to Panjim and Margao. Then later, wellness started, I started liking it because this is one field where people walk in, and when they walk out, they are a different person altogether. They're more confident, they're more beautiful, they feel good about themselves, and they go about their whole life better. So I thought this is a very nice field. So I started enjoying, and that's how I created Sattva Salon and Spa, which is my own brand, because earlier it was a franchisee. And later, I realized during the pandemic, when the women, because I used to work a lot with rural women, and they wanted, they started calling me and saying, we need to do something, we need to, because we don't have funds, our people have lost their jobs, our family. And I had always used to tell them that you guys, you women are so good in doing so many local Goan stuff, you're so good in preparing them. So why don't you sell it in the city? Because people like us want it. And they always said, ki ami korpak tayar asa pan vikpache khoy. We need a platform in the city. Yeah. So that's how I was free during that, because the wellness industry was shut due to the pandemic. And that's where I created Global to Local. So from pharma to getting into a smaller, wellness, retail, this was one challenge because there were so many rural women involved. So putting them all together, getting them to, have regularity, have reproducibility, arrange for logistics for them, work out the logistics for them. So this was a challenge, but definitely the reach was better. So I think this was the project which was with a social impact.
Definitely. I am sure it must have created a great impact in the lives of rural women. So now, ma'am, that you mentioned about your Sattva Salon and Spa, could you tell us what drove you to launch Sattva Salon and Spa, and how was it different in the market?
Like I said, the middle segment, the middle class, the bracket was empty. They could neither go to those small little parlors in the villages, nor could they afford to go to the five-star hotels and take services. So that was the segment. Today, even the tourists visiting Goa are mostly the middle class. They venture out, they spend. So that segment was, I thought, vacant, and I needed to create something which was good, something which was professional, something which was pocket-friendly. So that is why I started with my own brand and then spread it across in different towns of Goa.
Yes. That's great, ma'am. So ma'am, you also mentioned about your vision, which is global to local. So could you share about this vision? How does it help rural women, and how does it help in the development?
Okay, so global to local, today we started with like 20 plus women, but today we are supporting more than 100 women, around 124 is the score, the last week. And so these women are getting financially independent. And that's my vision, that is one of the ways we can strongly empower the women, and especially the rural women, because they need hand holding. And that's how I got across. And today when I look at them, the journey which they have gone through, we've completed 4 years, and the journey I see them from when they started with very little to today when they are regular vendors for our store, because today we are not just a physical store, but we also have an online presence, and people across India shop with us. All the tourists know about our store because we offer authentic, Goan products. So we are promoting Goa through these women, and in turn, they are getting empowered. So I think that itself is very fulfilling. It's very satisfying.
Yes, indeed, ma'am. So again, seeing rural women getting financial independence is like truly inspiring. So ma'am, could you tell us what are some real life stories that has deeply touched you through this journey of this rural woman?
I think, there are two ways that I have touched them. One is through the Global to Local store, and the other one is the Orchid Award for Women Achievers of Goa, which I started 12 years ago, and we've been doing it every year, and we don't have, and the women we award are from these backgrounds. They have actually strived hard, they've worked hard and come up the hard way and, made a difference. So I have one, I remember one incident where I had gone to a program in Margao as a chief guest, and there were these two women who were from beyond Mapsa. And they actually saw the poster with my picture in it, and they actually came for the program just to meet me with a box of sweets and with a box of, something else, which they said, we heard one of your talks and we were inspired to start something. So we went back and we made a self-help group and we started this, and you have changed our lives. And we did not know where to get in touch with you until we saw the poster. So today, and they actually helped me and cried. And of course, I had, I cried too, but that was something so touching. I think there's nothing better than that.
I'm sure, because I am sure it must be the most satisfying feeling, just hugging them and just knowing that, you change someone's life. Okay. So, ma'am, coming to your other field or other activity, which I would say is you are also the chairperson of Women Wings at GCCI. So could you tell us what are the key priorities for promoting women entrepreneurship and empowerment?
I think we've been doing very well at the Women's Wing, and we launched a mentorship program where we have placed mentors across in different, 10 mentors across the districts and across the talukas, wherein local women who even have an idea that I want to start something can get in touch with them, and they're available locally, so it's very easy for them to get in touch with them. And whether it is just the idea they want to discuss, they want to look for a place, they want funding, they want skilling. So any aspect of having a startup is taken care by these mentors. So this is one mentorship program that we launched. We also have our flagship event, Asturi. We created history this year by having the Grand Asturi at the Shama Prasad Mukherjee Stadium last month in December, where we had nearly 200 women participating with their stalls, exhibitors, and it was a massive success. So that is another thing. We also have something called Business Diva, wherein we have not just where we award and recognize business ventures by rural and urban women, and we also have a lot of skilling programs, financial literacy. We did IT tech awareness amongst these women in South and North Goa. So we are constantly working to empower them in different fields, in multiple fields, so that it helps them get stronger.
That's great, ma'am. Ma'am, could you share us some, now since you said that it's multiple fields, so could you share us some fields that you all have trained them and they have become successful in it?
So we did entrepreneurship program for them, wherein out of the women who decided, 22 women came forward and said, we want to start something on our own. Okay. Then there were so many women, especially after pandemic, who were doing business in food, but they did not have proper licenses. So we conducted these FSSAI licensing mela. We conducted the FOSTEC training. We did the labeling and packaging trainings for them. So today they are at a much better space and more legal space doing their business.
That's great. That's great. Also now coming to the entrepreneurship. Now there are many women in our Goa, in our state itself and in our country who wants to open their own business. But they but they face self-doubt, I would say, or they are reluctant, or they don't know from where to start. So what is your go-to advice for them?
I think self-belief is the highest form of a person's consciousness. I mean, if you believe in yourself, how can you doubt your ideas? So foremost, you should believe in yourself, okay? That's very important. And then your ideas. Today, everybody is looking at ideas, creativity, everybody is looking at strength, you know. So everybody is looking at uniqueness. So if you feel that you have a unique idea, believe in yourself, come forward, look for a mentor, seek mentoring, and see that you give it a result, give it an end to that and start something. So definitely you should seek help. And also, learning is very important. And not just learning, it's a constant phase, otherwise you get lost somewhere. So I always say you got to learn, you got to unlearn, and then you got to relearn. So you got to do that as well, and come forward, present those ideas, don't worry about them, somebody laughing at them, because all great ideas and great products were something which when they were started, people laughed at them.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
Great. I am sure all the women out there listening would have taken some insights. I mean, must have learned something from this. Ma'am, now coming to you were the first lady president of BNI Apparent. So what unique challenges did you face as a woman in leadership, and how did you overcome them?
I think that was a very great role that I took up. Initially, I was hesitant, but it was amazing because I learned so many qualities of being a good leader. There were a room full of men, and you are heading that room, and everybody is listening to you, and you're conducting a formal meeting with and they're not just men, they are businessmen, So that role actually taught me a lot about my confidence, my, resilience, about handling situations and leading from the front. So I always say, if you get such opportunities, never say no, go ahead, grab it, because it's going to be great for you.
Yeah, you're going to learn through that process. So ma'am, how do you think organization and government can better support women entrepreneurs in Goa?
Oh, I think in many, many ways we can support them because, we can start with skilling programs. We need to get connected. The government should connect with self-help groups and NGOs to reach out to them in the rural areas so that you understand what skilling is required. Then today, also funding facilities, maybe we should have an ease of doing business by giving them no cost or low cost loans, probably without collaterals. This will help women in a nice way and to start something on their own. Also, today what we lack, our women are very skilled, very creative in Goa, but what we need is marketing tools. That's where we lack. So probably tying up with agencies, who can give trainings to these women on marketing, on using social media as your marketing tool, and all these aspects, whether it's funding, whether it is today, most of the women, they stop at the startups. They do not scale up. Why? Because banks and big funding, organizations, they don't believe in the risk-taking capacity of a woman. They feel we cannot scale up. And that's why most women don't scale up. So I feel, the government and we should help them to connect to such funding agents, connect to such investors, help them skill, teach them basics about even, savings, teach them basics about how to invest your money. Today, as a woman, I wonder how many women really know how to improve their CIBIL rating, or for that matter, what is CIBIL rating and how do you improve it? So we need to educate our women. And as government bodies, we need to reach out to them and educate them.
Definitely, ma'am.
In various aspects, and then there is no stopping.
Definitely. And I feel once the woman takes that step, she's unstoppable.
Exactly.
So, ma'am, now how do you see Goa as a hub for women entrepreneurs, and what role do you see yourself playing in the transformation?
Okay, I think Goa should set up, if not, designated women park, industrial park for women, at least have an incubation cell for the women entrepreneurs where they can come in and, there would be helping hands for them in multiple ways that I discussed. So that will really, motivate women. That yes, the government is there with their helping hand. Also, if we can have a single window clearance for women for their licensing, for their license, for everything, that would also help, because that is another struggle and challenge that women in our state face. That would be amazing. And I, as an entrepreneur with all these, 3 decades of experience, I always tell everywhere I go that I'm open to mentoring. If you even have an idea, come forward, get in touch with me, discuss with me, and I will connect you to the right people. I will mentor you to, and motivate you that you start something on your own, get financially independent. And it's very important today for every girl to get financially independent.
I second that. Ma'am, now, since you spoke about all your ventures and you have many ventures under your belt, what is next on your horizon?
Oh yes, we are working on it. So this year in 2025, I plan to launch 2 new ventures. So one is in a chain of QSR, which we are going to launch, and that's again very Goan. And the second one is also related to Goan products. Here I'm working with about a group of women, wherein we are looking at, starting to manufacture some products. So yes, I still have 2 ventures to be launched this year, and I'm so excited about them.
I'm all the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What valuable lessons have you learned from the age of 19 till now?
Like I said, no replacement to hard work. And, you should be passionate about what you do. Always have passion for the work you do, but keep your values intact. So important. So if you do this, I think you can be unstoppable, like you said. Always have a vision, have a goal, and be truthful to yourself. Be very truthful to yourself. And if you're looking at a business idea, gone are the days where business was only about profit. Today, business is about not just profit, it is also about the impact and the empowerment you're creating in the area around you, amongst the people around you. So that also is very important.
Yeah. So ma'am, now that we have come to the end of the episode, what advice would you give to all the women out there listening to you?
Okay, dream big, dream with your eyes open. Never let that fire inside you go away, because that is what is required today. That passion, that fire is required to you. And if you think you can do something, trust your instincts, because a woman's instinct and intuitions can never go wrong. So believe in yourself, and if you want to do something, just go for it. Nothing can stop you. You will be unstoppable. Thank you.
Indeed. I think a woman, when she starts or thinks something and when she takes the first step, she's unstoppable, ma'am. So I think this whole episode has been very insightful, from your journey to how you helped rural women, being for them to be financially independent, and all your ventures. I think it's amazing. I myself got very inspired through your journey, and I am pretty sure our listeners must have also been very inspired by your whole journey. Ma'am, thank you so much for coming on our show. It was great having you, and it was an honor to have you on our show.
Thank you so much.
So that was Mrs. Asha Arondekar on our today's episode of PBN Bharat. I'm pretty sure you all must have got a lot of insights from her journey. So next coming episode, we will get more such entrepreneurs on our PBN Bharat channel. Until then, keep watching PBN Bharat.